Right. Good evening, everybody who's watching. We're here for round 3 of CityLiga. Official qualifier now started. I was fiddling around with some streaming settings because I noticed that we have frame drops. Not sure if everything is okay now. It seems like that. Selected a different hitbox server. It's all technical details as usual. There is some technical problem, it seems, every time we do CityLiga nowadays. But yeah, can happen. Uh, like I said, it looks now okay. Now I selected a different country to stream to, one of the other hitbox servers. It has nothing to do when you watch this back on YouTube, of course. Well, I think. But yeah, it looks now. It looks now that it is okay. So yeah, we can we can uh, follow the FI, um, which is with the DT2. Dom is here too, as well. I can almost say like usual. Good evening, Dom.
Hello, good evening to everyone.
Yeah, I need to get the hang of it a little bit. We have I noticed in the chat that we have everyone has 2 tries on the qualify, yeah, two flying laps, so to say, to set a qualify time, right?
Yes, and they have 15 minutes to do it, but they have to deal with wind. And with that I mean wind in the game.
Yeah. As far as I know, or how it looks, is that nobody set a time yet. We just
Nope, we're
started,
still
of
waiting for
course.
first time. Looks like Pete will be the first to set a time. Coming around the last corner now.
Yeah, he's on the stream also.
.17, which isn't a bad lap. Question is, we don't know how good it is yet. Well, it's been beaten already, so probably not good enough then. I unfortunately didn't check what wind conditions we had. Doesn't look like it could. It can be that bad if they're still doing 39s, or at least Arco has done a 39. Currently, there's only one FXR qualified. We have I would say, a relatively good representation from everyone, or from every car model you could choose. They should be roughly equal.
25 drivers are on grid 1, it seems. I look at the
Are here
connection.
today, yes. It should be 28, but it seems 3 have gone missing.
Okay. But everybody selected balanced out the grid with FZR, XRR, and FXR.
Yeah, it looks pretty even. It's not like most of the time when you have 90% of
It's not
the grid
biased to
choosing one car.
Yeah, it's not biased to one car. This is DT2, of course, so it's handicapped. It's I don't remember the handicaps. They're slightly different than at public racing.
Yeah, it's 19%, 21%, 23% for FZR, FXR, XR. Mainly because it seems that the FZR has a bit of a problem with this sort of circuit, where the XR seems to have the weight advantage and the power and the top speed to be on top of it, without the restrictions we're using today, since the FZR gains more power per percent removed than the XR and FXR do. And the FXR is, of course, using 2% less than usual, because it's absolutely terrible at Kyoto National.
Right.
But it's more or less brought them on one level. I would say in qualifying, the FXR doesn't really stand a chance. In the race, it's a lot more even. So we will see if there's a FXR on top in qualifying or around 10th place, like it's the case now. He could be on pole for race 2, because race 2 is based off the qualifying results, but with the top 10 inverted. So 10 starts first and so on.
For the first race, we have 2 races, right?
Yes,
sprint
first race
races?
is 16 laps, second race is 32 laps.
And the first 10 qualified. Oh, after the first race, the first 10 finished will be reversed.
No,
For the second race.
the qualifying order is valid for both races.
Ah, okay.
But on the race 2 grid, the
Aha.
top 10 are reversed.
From the qualifying result.
From the qualifying results, and everyone else starts on his qualifying spot. So if you make a mockery of qualifying, you're pretty much done for both races.
Yeah. Then you have a whole lot of catching up to do, but to sprint races, yeah, not a lot of time to gain position if you're having a bad qualifying.
No, not really. Especially in the first one, which is only, I think, 27 minutes or so. And the second one is roughly 55. And yeah, it doesn't leave you with a whole lot of time to do your overtaking in. But yeah, Arco is still the only car in the 39s, SRR 1-2 right now, which I didn't think I'd see in qualifying, but yeah. And as it seems, there seems to be, to absolutely contradict what I said earlier, there seems to be a large majority of XRs. But at least there's no car that's not included at all. All of them have some kind of representation. Pretty close at the top of the grid. The top 10 is covered in 0.6 of a second right now. Just changed to now be within 0.57. Now that TCR Spencer's on P10. Doesn't matter who's where, really, because turn 1 will be very interesting in both races. With people going 4 wide. That's the sort of problem you set yourself up for when you make a track 4 times as wide on the straight approaching to turn 1 than you do in turn 1.
Okay. Yeah, it's 3 minutes to go. Trying to see who can improve, who is on the track and who can improve, but we're with Mikovic on board. I think that's Mikovic didn't set a time at all yet.
No, he had a penalty carried over from last round, which basically took away his first attempt. So he's only got this one attempt. We have a tied time for P3, I just saw. P3 and 4 have exactly the same time.
Right, we're still with Mikovic, but you're talking about Mikey and Savi.
I was talking about Kovacs and Glitman, but they've been pushed down now. Looks like Mikovic is on a more than decent enough run if he doesn't throw it all the way now. Should be good enough for a top 10. 107.66 second split. And he's on P10. Oh dear. Like he calculated it. Still have a few cars on a flying lap. Pete, Ronald, Botzi, Patrick Cabini is still on a flying lap. Callie is still on a lap. Troy right now is the best of the bus division in P9, which would be a very good position to start race 2 from, being on the front row and in the physics-defying four-wheel drive thing, whatever it is.
Yeah. So the qualify session ended.
Yeah, a few people just completing the last lap. Pete unfortunately made a mistake, had to abort the run. He's gonna stay in 7th.
Yeah, we have Cabini now on the stream.
Yeah, he's got a very good second split time. Should be good enough for 39. Maybe this could be a pole run. Unfortunately, didn't see the last couple of corners. Only see the split. And yes, he does go pole. 139.86. Which again pushes Mikovic off pole for race 2 to 11 for race 2. Kali now coming around the last corner. He's 13th.
He won't be happy. Mikovic in this case.
Oh, and goes up and stays 13th. Doesn't actually improve.
So now we have, now it looks like everything has qualified. Everybody has
Yeah.
qualified.
Yes.
Well, I'm still fiddling around with audio levels, but I'm not sure if everything is okay, but we will see.
Only a couple of minutes away from the start of race 1, 16 laps. Qualifying order as you see it on screen.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit too loud, although nobody is complaining on the stream, but
People only ever complain afterwards when you can't change it.
yes.
For once, everyone has joined the sessions 2 minutes early. That must be some sort of record.
Yeah, there's a 2-minute pause. Let me check, yes.
There will, of course, be a lag lap before the actual start, where everyone gets the chance to find at which angle and speed they're gonna take half the field out at.
Right. I'll try to set up the track cam for the start, which will be here, I think. Hmm. Doesn't seem to work. Okay, then not.
Cars on the grid for the lag lap. Let's see what this will end up like. Maybe someone will end up upside down on the Grand Prix course. Patrick being monstered by the FZRs behind him from pole. Everyone being 15.5 wide for turn 1. Worked out relatively well, actually. Except for Flame. Oh, it seems he's got some sort of hardware failure going on or something. However, that means he's just giving away his starting spot. Only 4 kilometers an hour of wind, so I guess a lot of people will be happy to see that. First set of reds, second set of red lights, third set of red lights. And away they go from the grid for the first race of the evening. Again, pretty good start for Patrick relating to other XRs, but just being monstered by the FZs behind him.
I'm muted on my TeamSpeak. Sorry, did I talk through you? This
Perhaps
is so
you did. People will
This is so
find out.
confusing. Okay.
Everyone's clean through the first half of the lap though.
Oh god. Terrible. Okay.
Now to the slowest corner on the track for the first time. Arco in the lead. Followed by Patrick, Mikey, Savvy, Katila, Pete, Littman, Kovacs, Sharka, and Troy. That's your top 10 at the end of lap 1 of race 1. There will be some drafter reaction going on the oval.
Yeah, except for Corson, who is on the back of the field right now. Probably made a mistake.
Yeah, something must have happened.
While Savvy overtakes Mikey due to his drafting advantage. Yeah, I was thinking that you were doing some adminning, that you were silent, but that's because I muted you on TeamSpeak to check the audio levels on the stream. So that was the situation. That didn't notice that. So why was Capel all of a sudden?
Seems to have been some hardware shenaniganery going on.
I think so too. But as a result, he now needs to be on the back in both sessions.
No, he does not.
No? Okay.
Well, unless he qualified really badly, I don't have it in my head right now. But he gets to start where he qualified for race 2. Unless he was in the top 10, then he might be reversed to wherever. Arco still leads, Patrick behind. They've got well, not really a big gap, but the only worth noting gap. Then it's 2 TCR guys, Savvy and Mikey. Then we have a battle for P5 between Pete and Yoni Katila. So it looks like Pete's on the move through to P5. Katila gets back at him though. Goes back through for turn 1. It's a beautiful corner, it's long, tightening left-hander, which is really nice for overtaking. Pete's on the outside for the first of the hairpins on the infield. That won't really work. You can't really pass there. Unless the other guy makes a mistake, then you can try to make it side by side like he's doing. Bit close there.
Littman in there also.
Littman's just watching this, hoping both of them will crash off in such a way that he doesn't have to avoid them.
Yeah.
Seems like they're gonna have to get their act together for the last chicane, since you can't really go anywhere near as quickly through that if you're close behind another car because of the loss of aero.
Everybody from everybody seems to be quite close to each other except number 1 and 2, Arco and Cavigny.
Yeah, but I think he's setting up a pass. He's getting closer than the draft, Cavigny is. Very, very slightly, but he's gonna get a huge surge. There we go, to the outside. Almost 260 kilometers an hour with a GT2 car, not bad. And Arco backs out of it. Yes, Patrick's through into the lead.
Yes, and that's not, you think that maybe not that big of an issue, but it's only 16 laps and we're already at lap 4, so yeah.
Yeah, we're already a quarter through the race almost. Behind Mikey we have a bit of a train. XR train.
Yeah, the stream got back on Pete, who is not really in the middle, but in front of the middle, so to say. But people can see it on the mini-map as well, where what's going on there. Yeah, pretty big train.
Yes, it is. Big slide, huge loss of momentum there for Pete in the hairpins. A big problem with the XR here. But it seems that he caught everyone behind him out by enough to not matter for the cars behind. He obviously has a bit of a gap now to the car in front of Katila, who's battling with Mikey. XR versus FZ.
Both side by side for quite some time now. That's not giving them any of them much advantage for drafting. And Jake Attila got back on Mikey's bumper again.
Yeah, the FZR is much better on the braking, so I expected him to stay ahead unless Katila was going to be able to get right ahead of him before the turn, first corner, like Patrick did with Arco. To get the lead.
Pete could catch up and is now nah, it's not side by side with Jake Tila, but
I don't want to go side by side through the second kink here before the long right-hander.
me neither.
That can be a pain. Oh, Pete goes for it down the inside.
That's what I wanted to say.
If he can bully him out wide, then he's
really
gonna get good exit speed. Oh, but he's ahead.
We have 3 TC cars now. Wow, Jake Attila.
Katila's gonna defend though into the hairpin. Here we go. Oh, someone's gonna give here. It's Katila, yeah, he was on the wrong side for the last chicane. But Pete's line was compromised too, so this doesn't mean it's over yet. Plus Katila now has to take the heat from behind. With Shaka attacking. Yep, here we go. Wiggles around, doesn't know which side to choose. Behind them you also have Littman and Kovacs and Kali fighting. Oh, and Katila and Shaka almost drove each other off the road. A slight bit of solid driving there from those two. And they're now holding up the pack behind them. Kali's gonna go around the outside of Littmanen, provided he can pull it off through the double left-hander without Littmanen challenging him back into the long right-hander. The sort of endless loop. Tila tries to stick it down the inside. Doesn't have enough room to get away with it. Troy goes around the outside of him instead.
So many cars. It's
Using the
impossible.
draft of Kali. They're now alongside each other into the hairpin. The three in front are still fighting. And the problem is the XR when it's fighting is very vulnerable because it's offline. It's losing momentum, and when it's losing momentum, it's losing boost. And then it really has a tough time getting going again. Meanwhile, it looks like the top 5 have decided to check out, especially Patrick and Arco. I doubt the TC guys will do much to have each other off. Maybe we'll see a change of position there. But it's really going off behind them for P6 and below. Oh, and Litmanen is really not having a good day. He's now under attack from Bandy for P11. P11 and 12.
Yeah, we're on stream with Kovac, who tries to move on the inside of the Tila.
Oh, side by side move with the XR is not a smart thing to do there. You just lose so much time. And now Kali's right on the back of both of them. Small contact between Katila and Laszlo. Laszlo again getting better drive off the long loop.
Now on the outside, or yeah, inside now, this corner.
Whoa, gets the tail, almost wipes it. Almost smacks it into the left front suspension of Katila. Gets through with it because Katila had to slow up. And now he'll have to deal with two tanks.
Troy and Winkler there behind Jake Attila. Winkler there on the outside of the oval. Already in front, but let's switch to the onboard of Jake Attila again. Yeah, they both passed, but Troy, I cannot.
Troy overshoots, yeah.
I cannot keep up with commentating.
Oh, and Katila drops off a wheel. Bit hot into turn 3. Oh, and Litmanen is absolutely not loving this. Doesn't know who to overtake. Like every second corner there's a new guy in front of him to overtake, and by the time he wants to do it, oh, Katila off. Puts wheels off into the grass again. But by the time he wants to do it, that guy is already side by side with someone again. Gee. Now he goes down the inside towards the left. Left-hander at the end of the track, the double left, which is really only one corner, or you drive it as if it was one.
That was a quite smooth pass from Litmanen. Let's see what's going on between the two core drivers, the core team, Kovac and Winkler. Seems that yeah, Winkler gets the space to drive in front.
Indeed, no challenge from Laszlo.
Situation with the TCR team seems
Still
stable.
Yeah, a bit closer. Maybe they're gonna try and have a go at each other, but it's still half the race to go, so. Plus, Mikey should be disqualified anyways for daring to use R3 rear tires, but well, that's only in my head, I guess. Oh, as he puts on a bit of a slide entering the loop. Troy and Litmanen are now battling for P9 and 10. FXR we XR. Troy ahead, easily gets a gap through the last section of the track, but the FXR is just bussing its way through. New fastest lap from Patrick Gavini and 1:39.96. Oh, Bandy and Mikiewicz are battling for P11. Now Katila's in the middle of both of them. They're 3 wide, almost. But looks like Mikiewicz will get through. Or stay ahead. He'll certainly enter turn 1. Or, well, what is technically turn 2 before Bandy did. Stays ahead. So you have 3 XR, FXR battles in a row.
Yeah, but this is really tied together. Much more cars than the situation in front. This is still quite close to each other. It's what is it? From Mikovic until Morvai, I think.
Yeah, they're pretty much sitting on top of each other.
Yeah, Morvai is the last one there in that group.
Tilo seems to have slightly barbecued his front tires. He's trying to handbrake his way out of the situation through the hairpin. That won't do him any good, especially if he's gonna struggle like that over the curves. Leibniz just passes him, as does Jan Ole, easily navigating the last chicane, unlike Katila did. But Morvai is gonna be in between both of them if they're not careful. Gets a double draft, chooses the outside lane. 3 wide. Whoa, and Morvai tries to switch lanes, completely misjudging how the car was going to change direction, ended up on the apron.
Jan Ole and Lepnix are still battling there in front of Morvai. Exchanging some paint, but it was light.
Meanwhile, in the TCR race, they swapped Mikey to 3rd in that queue of cars and 5th place in the race. Rightfully so. Well, that's what he deserves for running R3 rear tires.
Yeah, I'm having difficulties to move away from the Morvai group, but...
Oh, Shaka and Kali are battling for P6. Shaka going defensive. Probably cost himself a kilometer now or 2 through the banking here by doing such a shallow, by going into it on such a shallow line.
Here's Winkler coming.
Yeah, down the inside he goes, does his personal best lap of the race by while passing him. Hugs the inside line. If Shaka is smart, he's going to try to get under him, but Kali won't have it.
It's really close.
Indeed they were. Can Shaka stick with it around the outside? No, so Kali's thrown to P6.
We're back with Morvai, who had a little touch with Jan Ole, just a little, but yeah. Seems that Lepnix could get away from this whole situation.
Yeah, he's bussing his way through.
Well, we have the leader here across start-finish for lap.
Pete and Savvy are battling for P3.
Arco driving here, and then we have Pete and Savvy following in 3rd and 4th place.
Swap places. Savvy also deserves to be disqualified along with Mikey for daring to run a right-hand drive. Question is if he actually knows about it, because he's costing himself a bit of time.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I would go that far to swap my driver's position just
Oh,
because.
no, it's free time. If you're not using in-car view, and even if you are using in-car view, it's just free lap time.
It's costing you lap time, yeah, but I don't know. If you use in-car view, I couldn't get used to be in it on the wrong side for my mind. But yeah, maybe that's just me.
Oh, Pete makes a mistake. He runs hugely wide out of the double left hairpin. But Savvy doesn't have the greatest of chicanes, so it roughly equals to be the same. Pete signaling something to Savvy like, "You're driving with right-hand drive, noob," or whatever.
Well, he is here on the TeamSpeak. We could ask him live.
It's probably a bit close now in the short race.
Yes, I'm not sure. I'm not sure to. Well, they do it themselves.
Well, they should be in the same channel. Yes.
No, I mean, in this case, Pete does it to himself. He's offering by joining here. He's offering here for
Oh,
live
okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but there's still more opportune times than others.
Yeah. It seems two laps before the finish that everything's settled a bit. I see some gaps here and there. Kovacs and Zarka are quite close still to each other. Nothing can happen there between those two. But for the rest,
Yeah, most of them have all formed a quite orderly queue. Oh, Patrick meanwhile tries to say, "Look what time I could have done with less wind." Putting down some ripper lap times. Absolutely unchallenged for the race win since he overtook Arco. Let's hope he can bring it home in the last 2 laps. 400 points.
yeah, we have of course this thing with wind. It's a factor.
Yeah, but it's only very little wind. Like I think Quali had more wind. We only have 4 Ks right now, which is the lowest amount of wind you can have with low wind. Yeah, it's 4 to 24. Actually, it might be 3 to 24. I'm not sure, but it's certainly not anything worth mentioning to 24. Pete, meanwhile, has also pulled clear of Savvy. He's now got to well, he's more being pushed by his teammate than his teammate being Mikey in this case, with the FZ behind him, than hassling Pete. Behind them you have Kali slowly approaching. Let's see what he can get to in the second race. He of course will have to start from the same spot as in this race.
Yeah, you were with on board with COVID still. I switched the cameras while we were talking about the other drivers, but still expect from COVID something on the last lap.
Yeah, he's just a bit
He
too far
tries, I
away to
guess.
get the draft though, and this way
Yeah.
around at Kyoto National, the way to the line is nowhere near as long, so you might not see a pass unless Schalke makes a mistake, or Laszlo absolutely nails his lap. Certainly gained a bit of ground there through turn one.
First sector splits are the same, basically. Oh, we have somebody, Jake Attila, there. Not sure what happened, but not being happy. I think it was only Jake Attila, to be honest. Not Troy. Troy is reported out of tracks, but that's because some people are just a little bit on the grass.
And cutting.
I saw some car on the minimap who was out of the track, but must have been Jake Attila then, but yeah.
Yeah, he dropped a whole load of places. He's now down in 21st. Windmile Patrick wins race 1 of the evening, 26:48.95 race time. Followed by Arco, Pete, Savvy, Mikey, Kali, Sharka, Laszlo, Sami Littman and Troy, Bandy, Mikiewicz, Leitniks, Morvai, Jan Ole, Martin Kapal, Christian Kistner, Shippy, Ronald, Matti, Yari Katila, followed by Yoni Katila, TCR Spencer, Sam Corson, Shikari, and last but not least, Botsy in P25, and that's race 1.
Alrighty.
And that was not intended.
Okay.
I wanted to resize the window and accidentally disconnected.
So we have now these are 2 sprint races for people who still have not don't know what's going on. 2 sprint races this time, not 1 full race, but 2 individual small races, and the grid will be the first 10 on the grid will be on the qualify grid, so to say, will be reversed for the second session. And with the new system, everybody can be automatically added, which is quite nice, I think. Speeds up the process a lot.
It does.
Except when some people just try to do it on their own. Because maybe they're used to the old situation or something. No idea. So people watching the stream are watching it back. Well, when you watch it back, you can just skip. But people watching the stream can grab a drink, and then we will have a race 2 of this evening. Uh, actually, I'm walking to the kitchen, just figuring out if I can drink something. Yeah, why not? I changed my drinking habits, so I don't drink any alcohol anymore. But that's up to me.
Don't drink and drive, people.
Yeah, but
And
I'm
don't
just
join when you're not meant
commenting.
to,
Only really
because
commenting.
that's annoying.
And yeah, supposed to join. Right, that's everyone, I think. 3-minute break. Even more people can catch a drink now.
Yes, indeed. Imagine how much quicker they could have gone and had a break.
If everybody would have listened, yeah. But people are people. And the 3-minute break is because
Because
people
there
can
has to
also
be a
go.
break.
The racers can also go to the toilet really quick, in case they forgot to go to the toilet before the race. Yeah, we now have different wind. I think so. Yeah. But
Well, we might have the same win. Depends. It's random. But
yeah,
yeah, we
but
just had the lowest amount of wins, so it will be interesting to see what we get for race 2.
but the direction can also must
The direction and speed is
be
absolutely random.
really yes. So must be really like a lucky thing if it's exactly the same. But we will see.
Well, the speed is of course a lot more likely to be the same than the direction.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if Cabinho can perform that good. He is starting. Happened.
Well, that's gonna be hard to say because the race is longer, which should help the rear-wheel drive cars, unless they're using R3 tires on the rear, which I have to point out is not smart. And but
Oh,
the XR,
laps.
no, it's just no, it's no, 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 and no, no. It's R2s. If you
It's
don't drive a
double.
bus, it's R2s all the way.
But the amount of laps is now doubled, or what? Yeah.
Yes, but it's still less than an hour, and the
It's true.
tires easily last an hour. It's only
Uh,
like 55 minutes for tires that last up to 65 minutes. So
for some reason, I thought that it was going to be the same amount of laps, but yeah,
no, no,
no
it's
idea
double the
why.
distance and also double the points. So
Yeah, that's what I was noticing. Somebody was leaving the grid, yeah. But I thought it was me because I didn't saw it recorded in the chat, but... Oh, God.
Going to have to check the grid again now.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that looks right.
Um... The insim is not...
Maybe it didn't like all the people switching around and being a pain on the grid. Here we go, lap for race 2.
Exactly. So I just restarted.
Whole train of cars all pulling towards the inside wall, which doesn't really work.
To repeat, this is only the lag laps, only a test. Especially for me, so I could
Only a
set
test
the...
for how to crash someone.
Yeah, and then I could just restart the insim.
Oh, how lucky
Okay.
those guys are. Another race with 4Ks of wind. Troy's on
No light.
pole.
Yep.
In the bus, should get a good launch. Indeed he does. Gets a nice gap to the cars behind. Sharkin and some of the other top XR guys still get a pretty good launch though.
Let's switch to the onboard of Jacob. He's going there.
Oh, and Pete's going down the outside. Oh no, he's not
Really on the
quite.
outside.
But he did go around the outside. Oh,
Ow.
Troy and Pete make contact. That was a bit of a hard move.
It was too well. Wanted to have wanted to go to be the leader, but yeah, it was a little bit too much. Now behind JKT line, the mirror of JKT now, while board with Jake Attila.
Patrick, the previous race winner, is currently in P9. Arco just had a bit of a moment there, so he might see himself being overtaken. Everyone's made it through more or less cleanly so far, a few exceptions on the back.
Jake Attila moved on the inside of Zarka, but he a little bit too much. And as a result, he lost some time holding up Pete.
Yeah, Pete's not gonna overtake him down the inside if he's not careful. Probably let it happen. Now he's trying to probably count on the fact that he's gonna get him back before turn 1, because that's how long the overrun is here.
No, it stays the same, and Liedman can catch up.
Indeed. If Pete can build a bit of a gap for the next couple of corners, then he can count on everyone being busy with Katila before they get to him and kind of focus on the charge he has in front of him instead of defending against cars behind him.
While I was figuring out who is lagging, but it's me. So, some spikes on the network graph, but
everyone cleanly for the last chicane. As I thought, Katila does back up everyone from Pete. Meanwhile, Sharka and Pete are staying in close contact to Troy's car. Pete meanwhile does the fastest lap of the race at 1:40.58. I do expect to see 39s again, even more so in this race where the tires get a lot more worn and will be a lot speedier towards the end.
oh, what is Troy doing? He's being a lawnmower for a second.
Yeah, he's trying to be a rallycross driver. But we don't actually have a rallycross round in this season, so maybe just trying to make up. Quite the train behind Troy. Everyone's really, first to sixth place are very, very close to each other. He got himself a bit of a gap again through the oval. Littmanen is attacking Laszlo. And Pete's probably... yeah, he is fighting with Katila.
Yeah, people could see that if they were could watch the mirror or were bright enough to.
And now they're 3 wide. Sharka is involved too.
They were smart enough to follow the mirror of. Oh, there was.
Oh, Pete
Sharka.
makes it around the outside. Small contact, but it looked like there was a bit of lag involved. So he takes away second place for now.
For me, it looked quite heavy.
Yeah, but it wasn't that heavy in reality. I think there was lag involved. Katila and Sami Litmanen side by side.
Oh, sorry.
What a gaggle of cars there. Patrick's also on the move. Going down the inside of Katila into the double left-hander slash hairpin slash whatever you want to call it today.
Yeah, those are on the
Makes
screen
it
right now.
through. Litmanen all over the place through the last couple of corners. No chance of keeping with Patrick. Meanwhile,
It's gonna be
Arco unfortunately timed out, and it's too late for him to rejoin, so that's his race done. Kali gets through, or gets past Litmanen. Litmanen tries to challenge on the outside for 1. But Kali should have the advantage. Litmanen, bit of rear locking on a downshift there. Quite a bit of oversteer through the corner. Again, lost all momentum in that car. And ahead of Kali, you have Patrick fighting against Sharka, also costing them time. Both of them will be losing from it, just being offline, losing momentum, losing boost. Oh, and
Saka.
ooh, what was that?
I was not sure.
I think that was another contact that involved lag. Either that or a really dodgy move, but I didn't see it.
Well, there was some contact, but it was almost nothing. It was nothing reported to the InSim, but
It
reported
must
by
have
the
been
InSim.
lag then.
I'm not entirely sure what it was, but
Well, Patrick has some left rear suspension damage, so whatever it was, it seemed to be contact, but it's hard to tell what or who or how. Sharka did drop quite a few places though, and oh, he's turned around on the oval.
so now I lost. Damn it. It's too late.
That was a bit of a... I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, car is now completely... his rear tire is gone.
Yeah, he totally spun it, so... Oh, don't rejoin!
Okay.
That wasn't that smart.
He probably will go to the pits. Well, probably, I'm sure of that.
But
But
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Especially because he'll most likely end up being last in the race now anyway, so he might as well just drive the race home comfortably without having to struggle around with a broken car for another 26 or so laps. Just about taking the points away from it.
all these incidents gave Troy and Pete the opportunity to move away from the rest of the field while Zarka enters the pit I think, by now. Looks like it on the minimap.
If Pete's smart, then he could even just stay with Troy without pushing or trying to pass him yet, and then basically use him as a free push to pass. Once the crowd or once the chaos and calamity behind him are approaching.
Darka made a pit stop, changed his tires, but he didn't fix the damage.
Well, the car's actually okay. If you look at it, most of the damage is just cosmetic. It's got a slightly used upper and lower wishbones, especially on the right front wheel, but on the left rear. But it looks like the car will still be okay to drive. Will certainly not be challenged by other cars to 24th place.
Exactly. This will be enough to go to the finish, but I don't expect him to move him up a position because
Well, not throughout his, not because of his own performances. No.
He's almost being lapped.
And he might get in the way actually.
It is possible, yes.
We have Spencer and Morvai fighting for P11 and 12. It's funny, it's a fight for P11 with cars 22 and 33.
Yeah, but I switched it momentarily to that, but we need to track the situation between Troy and Pete as well. Because that's, yeah. That's for position 1.
Well, in a normal race, Pete should just wait for his heat pick to end and then give it a bit of a push.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking, that he's waiting.
Because before that, I don't think he has quite enough performance to outdo the FXR on that last chicane.
Waiting until the race has progressed a little bit more.
Though he should actually get the draft in the late stages on the run to turn 1 here. But I think he'll get it too late, actually. Yeah, he's got it now, but it's too late now. Behind them you have Patrick moving past Yanni Katila. Goes up to P4.
He missed that move, but yeah,
Yeah, just did the classic BS inside, outbrake, go through maneuver into the first hairpin on the infield.
Gabigny is sure on his way to good results.
And I think the next one to go past Yanni Katila was going to be Kali Winkler before too long, because he's going to have a mega drive through that last corner. It's actually a bit too close in a way. Gets a bit of understeer going now, but nowhere near enough to put him offline. Short shifting to not get the draft too early. Katila is giving it to him though, because he doesn't want to beat the guy who's behind by the time they reach turn 1. And if they're gonna wiggle a bit more, then Litman's gonna have a golden opportunity presented to him on a silver plate. Nah, just not quite close enough. Kali stays ahead, goes up into P5. Oh, and catches buggy tire, catches buggy curb.
We have a car. Was that Kistner? Looks like it. Or not? Was this
No, it's Ronald stuck in the
Ronald?
gravel, and that's the race for him. Rotten round for him. I think he came bottom teens or even 20th in race 1, so that's almost certainly going to be a drop score for him. Getting almost no points from this round. And Mr. Sharko will have climbed 1 position.
I wonder if the camera is. Not sure if the camera is auto switching on the stream, but yeah.
Litmanen and Katila in the fight for P6. Again, Katila trying to time his counter attack. Sammy is actually getting rather close to Kali because he's in the bus, but the speed difference just isn't big enough.
While we're tracking this Winkler, Liedman, and Katila thing, Pete moved
Has gone
to...
into the lead, yeah, and he's got a good enough gap not to have the last chicane bother him. Tires look nice for this stage of the race. They're gonna cool down through the oval, so they're a bit, no, they're not quite red, but they look on track to becoming very capable in the last few laps. He's actually slowly, but definitely catching up to that car in front of him, to that Latin car.
Zaka,
Of Sharko, yes.
Yes, I saw Zarka all the time, but it's possibly a bit soft.
I don't know. I don't know myself. I just say it the way I say it.
Okay.
Not like I have any more knowledge on this.
It's probably some kind of soft thing that's usual there that in those countries, but yeah, not sure though either. Oh,
Right
we have
now
a car again. Who's this? It's Muffy. He's never going to get out of that.
Yeah, he would have. I think he would have easily gotten out of there. Not sure which corner it was, but it's the Nevsadar.
Yeah, okay.
It's not the Exeter, where the center of gravity is somewhere on another continent.
But he spectated.
Yeah, he spectated, so he gave up. That will be no points for him for this race, at least.
There's only 0.3 seconds of stream time for him.
Not a lot.
No, not a lot, no.
Nightnix versus Katila now for P7. Leibniz in the bus, Katila in the XR. Leibniz on the outside. Katila actually, did he just lift off and let him get ahead? I think he did.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I'm pretty certain he did. That looked too easy for a bus. A bus doesn't suddenly get 30 more horsepower and drive around the outside of someone. Well, no car does actually, but especially not the bus. also have quite a closely contested P3 battle, or P2 battle even. Troy, Laszlo and Patrick. Patrick goes down the inside into the last of the oval corners of the lap. Lets Laszlo back past him. I wonder if this is a bit of strategy from them, trying to go faster by drafting. Usually it never works. But they did end up swapping positions anyways. Patrick now up into P3.
Yeah, he really has something going there. Or yeah, Troy is losing also time.
Nah, well, I don't think he's losing time. I think he's just not gaining time. Because the FXR doesn't gain anywhere near as much time, which
Okay.
is once again why you shouldn't use R3s when you don't have to. But in the bus you have to. So he unfortunately doesn't have a choice.
Well, I think he selected the FXR to begin with because he's not really into this GT2 racing at all.
Nah, no, he's
As
not a
far
GT2 guy. Not at all.
as I know.
And as far as I know, I agree. I quite like GT2s myself, but yeah, it stops at GT3. GT3 is just no. He's approaching trying to draft. He certainly has to draft, and it's soon enough. So if Troy cooperates, he could go through. And I could see him do that because it's pointless to fight it. Yes, he does. Or does he? Or does he? Not quite actually. Nope. Not gonna
Seems to be
just
on
get.
board of Capini.
Not quite gonna gift it to him on a silver plate. When he gets back to him outside for the first of the infield hairpins, won't be enough. Yeah, just try to stay with him. Maybe he's gonna either try a passing attempt here or down the next straight, but I think he's gonna throw it down the inside here. Yes, he did, and he's through. Troy ran way too wide, but he may be able to launch a counter attack into the end of lap hairpin, and yes, he does. FX can brake a bit later. Even on board with Patrick, you can hear the entire drivetrain of the FXR lock up there on the braking. And he actually cost himself a bit of time there, though. I think he's still close enough
Yeah, you think
to
so?
just
Sure.
about get the draft at the end of the oval again. So it's not over, but just about. Well, we would be done if it was race 1, but we have another 16 laps to go. Technically 17 laps because we've only completed 15. Patrick trying to go smooth short line through the oval again in the draft, but again just that tad too late, although I think he's actually a bit closer than he was last time. Doesn't even try to go for the move this time, knows it's a waste of time. Stays behind and waits for the next good opportunity. And meanwhile tries to probably not lose focus of Laszlo behind him, because yeah, he probably doesn't want to gift him the position either.
Kovac is too far away at this moment, but that can change quickly, of course. while Cabinho is going there wide in that corner.
I think he's not gonna pass down. Well, maybe he's gonna pass, yeah. Let's see, yeah, he will. At least try.
Ooh, that is too much.
Yeah, we're locked up.
I thought there was a touch, but
There was a touch, but it wasn't a huge touch.
it is not detected by the in-sim, so but I could hear it on my audio.
I could see it on my screen and hear it. So there definitely was a touch. Try now under
Weird
attack
stuff.
from Kovacs. Pete does the fastest lap, 1:40.11. Meanwhile, Troy tries to get back at Laszlo. Around the outside, can he make it then? Nope. Laszlo carries a lot of speed through. Yeah, Troy from second to fourth in one lap pretty much. First move was a bit forceful, but from the angle I saw, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Zarka is already being lapped, was being lapped by Pete. Now driving in front of Cabini. I wanted to have this on the stream, but yeah, because of the fight between Troy and Kovac, I missed that, but it's okay.
And Pete has now lapped Sharko as well, I just noticed. 39.99, so as I predicted, a 39 fastest lap. And we still have a decent amount of laps to go, almost half the race, so that'll come down by a couple of tenths, that's for sure.
Yeah, a little bit of silence from us because, well, everything seems to be going how it's going, while Winkler is catching up with Troy.
Well, while there's not that much action, we can actually mention that you're gonna see a couple of different faces in Grid 1 next round, because this is the last round before the first round of promotions and relegations between the grids, where the top 6 will move up from Grid 2 and the bottom 6 will move down to Grid 2.
Okay.
Will be interesting to see after the point scores are totaled who has the 2 best results, or the sum of the 2 best results decides who gets promoted, who gets demoted. For the 4th round and the 5th, well, rounds 4, 5, and 6. Which I would claim have somewhat harder combos than the races we have seen so far.
Yeah, can I dare and take a look? What's the next combo?
It's
Well,
South City Long with the FXO and the RB4 for a grand total of 41 laps.
SO4, yeah, South City Long. FXO RB4. So
1 minute
no XRT.
39.64 from Patrick Kubitny in the XR. Oh, Kapal and Mikovic are actually battling for P14, 13? P13 and 14. Mikovic going through. He's not having a stellar round, nor is Flame really.
Yeah, I was looking at Kistner for a moment also because it got reported by the InSim out of track and against the wall, and he has quite some damage in front, so something happened there. The InSim optically doesn't seem to have changed anything, but I changed some stuff, but the AutoCam doesn't seem to work anymore, so yeah. I have to check it
Oh, and
manually.
Laszlo spins off. Laszlo spins off in the last chicane from P3, and he's going to lose a whole heap of places now.
That's what I mean.
Down from 3rd to 8th. No damage done,
I just wanted to say
but a
that,
lot
yes.
of time lost. Mikey, meanwhile, is doing a lot better this race, not because of the position he's in, but he's on R2, R2. I just thought I'd mention to rub it in even more. He's leaning on those rears. Gee, I hope they should last, but you never know.
You mean that they're already 10 already?
Yeah, he's leaning quite a lot on his rears. I mean, his fronts are barely worn half as much as his rears. And behind him, it's Spencer versus Mikovic and Martin Kapal for 12, 13, 14.
Yeah, I didn't expect Mikovic to have such
Oh,
problems.
Kali's on the back of Troy for P3 or 4 or whatever position.
P3, yeah.
Doesn't try to pass him, actually. I heard him lift off a couple of times. Tries to get the move done now. Goes to the outside. Side by side through turn 1. Oh, they lean on each other. Bam, another contact. Troy keeps the place for now. Kali won't be able to get under him in the next corner, or will he? Brakes early, let's try defend air, but doesn't really make an advance.
But why did he lift off then? I don't understand that.
What?
on the oval. You said that you
Yeah,
lifted
to
gas.
time the draft.
Uh-huh, okay.
You don't want to pass someone too early because he'll pass you back.
Well, it was too late now. Seems to do the move.
Well, it's to do it on the outside is harder anyway, so. And then the same car, so Kali wasn't gonna. I think they even have the same setup. Wouldn't you be surprised if Kali sent Troy his setup? Because they have very similar looking tires, and they're running on the same brand of tires as well. So, and very similar top speeds. So
Okay.
yeah, that's my conclusion from that. You can't really gain a place going around the outside if you can go no faster than the guy you're actually passing.
And Troy was thinking, okay, you can send me setup, but I'm not going to give my position to you that easily.
Apparently so. Ooh, Spencer and Flame are still in the fight. Side by side through the loop. 4, 13 and 14. So there are quite a few battle groups. Well, except for the two first and second place cars, who are absolutely not in a battle group. Though I would say that Patrick is slowly catching Pete. Question is whether there's gonna be enough time. I would almost say no, even if he's just done another fastest lap.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Kapow and Spencer. We're still tracking this. Kapow is...
Oh, Sami Litmanen on the draft of Leibniz, around the outside, or to the outside he goes.
No, I need to
Leibniz
choose.
will most likely cover the inside. Yes, he did, but ran a bit wide. Chris crossed in front of him. Sami had to slow it up. Caught the buggy curb. And
Oh!
what the hell?
That was
Lag.
lag. That was lag.
For a second I was like, oh no, now he's just spontaneously throwing his car at the scenery at a high velocity. But no, that's not what he did. Oh, someone rally crossing ahead.
Zarka.
No, I think that was I think that was Kali. I think it was
No,
Kali. It was something
Zarka's
something
timing
that
out.
was definitely a really ugly color, and that can only be Kali.
Yes, but Zarka's timing out. That's for sure. Yeah, he's going to lose his connection.
Yeah, looks like it. Oh no, he's already gone past the 41 at the. Oh no, wait, there he goes.
Nope. Okay. And reconnected, but no point anymore now.
Well, he could help his teammate by spotting, of course. Slash teammates.
In the meantime, Capel overtook Spencer, but Spencer's fighting back. And Spencer
Yes, and he's
retook.
through, but Capella again, another one off the bunch trying to time the draft. Is only given the outside, and unless he does some kamikaze move, that's not gonna come off.
I think that this will go on for some time, but we need to keep watch what's going on in front of the field as well. With Troy, Lepnik, Liedman, and Jay Katila.
Litmanen should be gaining some performance. He's got the R2 XR, so.
And Winkler.
Well, he's got R3s because he's in a bus. But I think he's quite some way clear of Troy, so I think Troy is the guy who has to worry there.
Yeah.
But first of all, Leibniz, who is still ahead of Littmanen after having battled with him. Tila's having a much better race this race, being behind Sammy on P7 right now. Ooh, Pete's actually got quite a bit of right front tyre wear. That could be interesting.
Losing 3/10 of a second.
And he's losing time, so yeah, he's going slower and he's got more tyre wear. Let's hope this doesn't bite him.
5 laps to go.
Well, 6 laps, because they just started 27.
I always make that mistake.
I'm not sure. If he's finishing, then in my opinion, he's lucky. So, let's hope it's fought out on track and not by a tyre. Oh, Mikiewicz made a major mistake. Lost a heap of time. It's now in P12. He certainly lost a heap of momentum. I'm not actually sure which position he was in.
He got reported out of track, so yeah.
He was certainly all 4 wheels in the gravel, so.
Yeah.
Dropped about 4 seconds this lap. Well, more like 3.5.
Well, Liedman catches up with Lepnik and is going to make...
Oh, and Flame has a puncture! Flame has a left front puncture! What on earth? This early in the race? Really, Flame? Gee, you're gonna struggle to navigate that last couple of corners. Oh, you should have probably just shortcutted through the gravel there. That's a bit... Yeah, he's pulling off into the pit lane. Oh dear, oh dear. No, he's continuing. What the hell is he doing?
I don't know, but we need to follow what's going on with Lepnik and Liedman also. Liedman overtook Lepnik in the meantime. Ooh, Botsi there. Botsi there doing a move. Not having his best race. 2 races actually.
Well, certainly the first one didn't go very well for him, if I recall right.
He finished last position, yeah, but he's not doing much
Flame's
better
still
now.
gonna continue with his puncture.
Yeah, I was actually watching Flame when I saw Botzi spinning off the track, but yeah.
He's not actually losing that much time. I think he's gonna drive for the rest of the race with the puncture. And I'm
Crazy.
not even joking. Problem is that might increase the stress on his right front and pop that one too, and then he's in really big trouble. Seats tire still holding up though. I don't know. I don't feel very comfortable looking at it.
Dietmanen is catching up with Troy now.
Yeah, his tires look fantastic. Loads of tread. Yeah, Littmann easily has the draft. Question is what he does with it.
Already making the move there.
Yeah, but I think the FXR can afford to just jump on the anchors a bit later, and yeah, I think Sammy needs the inside or mistake or better draft timing. But then, well, I'm not a great person when it comes to timing the draft.
Lietmanen there with Troy, but behind Lietmanen there's Labnix and Jake Attila.
Oh, Botzi has a puncture.
No surprise there.
And he's last again. Meanwhile, Martin with his puncture just overtook him. They have punctures on opposite sides of the car, so I think Botzi's got the worst end of the stick there, because he's got it on the right front, and well, the whole oval will be impossible.
Yeah. The thing is that a whole lot of fighting is going on in front, so we cannot stream the puncture
parade
drama. Because Lietmanen now is side
keeps
by
it
side
around
with
the
Troy
outside,
again.
but not
Lietmanen
quite enough.
Lietmanen already was in front.
Just doesn't have that forward drive. Yeah, had a nose ahead. Yeah. If he's not careful, then Kali will get both. Not Kali, Leitnick, sorry.
Less than 2 laps to go, so yeah.
Leitnick throws it down the inside into the loop. Troy runs out of road on his own. I think this could be Littmanen's position unless he has a really bad run through the last part of the track. Going all Ken Block on the last hairpin.
Here with Lapix on board.
Oh, Pete's tyre. 39.07 from Patrick. Gee. He's got some pace under him.
Kovac in front and Jekatila not.
Oh, and Flame has a second puncture. Flame is now last with a second puncture. On the very last lap of the race.
Kovac in front of Troy now. And
I hope he doesn't get in the way of people.
You're really a puncture fanatic.
But it could decide the race win, just as a note.
Okay.
Who cares who's coming 7th?
This is for 5th, I think.
It's 5th down to 9th, but yeah. Oh, Katila and Morvai are fighting. Ooh, Katila on the grass.
A whole lot of action going on there. But you expect that Pete may be running out of tire?
I think it's gonna be fine now.
He's on the straight.
He's
yeah.
on the oval, so if it pops now. Ooh. But now he's out of the corner, so even if they blow, he's fine.
Yeah.
So Pete wins the race too. Patrick is second, so almost maximum points possible. Third will be Kali, quite easily. Best FXR today. Fourth will be Sami Litmanen. Fifth Kovac. Sixth will be Leibniz. Seventh is Troy, Katila, Morvai, Savvy. Mikey, who finally realized that our 2 tires are better. Mikiewicz in 12th. Then it's TCR Spencer in 13th. Jan Ole 14th. Shippy 15th. Bandy is in 16th. Once he crosses the line. 17th will be Christian Kistner with a somewhat mangled car. 18th, and also with a puncture, is Jari Katila, just coming through the last chicane. Followed by more cars with punctures. Yeah, basically everyone who's finishing at the bottom of the list has a puncture. Katila coming through the last oval bend now to finish 18th. 19th will be Sam Corson Shikari if he ever makes it out of the last couple of turns and spins, which was totally expected. Take your time, son. No one's in a hurry. Got a car control around the oval there. It should make it to the line now.
And finished.
And everyone's finished.
Yeah, everyone is finished. Okay, so we can have some after talk. I will leave it with this. We talked about it earlier. The next race is going to be round 4 with some grid movements. Some people, 6 people from grid 2, going to move to grid 1, and so 6 from grid 1 move to grid 2. It will be on South City long, South City 4 with FXO and RB4 in 2 weeks. So see you all then in 2 weeks. Same time, same Monday. And for now, a good evening. I will switch off the stream. See you around. Bye bye.